Hey, yo, what's good, what's good, what's good? Welcome to Reflections of a DJ, the R.O.A.D podcast presented by DJ City and Beat Source. I am one of your hosts, DJ Crooked. We got DJ Never here.
Yo, what up?
We got DJ Jamie the Great.
Yeah.
We have DJ D Miles.
What's good?
God damn, you took
We have our associate producer, Nudia.
Hi.
What up?
Nudia, this is your last episode with us.
Yes.
Oh,
It's so hard.
it's so hard.
To yesterday. Damn. Right when we was just getting comfortable, right?
I know. Why are you going? Where are you going? You're going to Chicago. This is Nudia's last episode. It's not her last episode, but
she's working with us.
Well,
She said she want to
it's
come
my
back once a month.
It's my last episode.
wait.
Yo, okay.
And I told her we're good.
Yo, Never said I should just fuck y'all. He's like, why? Why do you?
I just
care?
said, why you want to come back once a month?
For real. Just stay with her.
Just for us.
But no. My family lives here now too. You know, and I have weekends off. Hey.
Oh, nice.
They got her.
You know. So I actually got offered a radio position out there in Chicago with Vocalo Radio. It's an urban alternative station. It's a non-commercial station.
It's an urban alternative.
Yeah.
What is that?
So it's a new format. It's a new format for radio, and it's gauged towards a younger, more multicultural audience. It's really a lot of R&B, a lot of soul, and it's like it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. Honestly, it's really
It
cool.
is.
That's great.
That's
It's
awesome,
cool.
man.
So
Congratulations.
it's
Yeah.
like, what do they play there? Like Anderson .Paak,
I think
Yeah.
it's St. John.
Kate Trinata.
Thames, Wizkid, like Ari
dope.
Lennox, Leon Bridges.
Oh, it sounds like a good station.
Right.
Yeah, it's because I mean a lot of times in radio you have to sell out, like you have to talk about how many boyfriends Taylor Swift has, and you have to play Ed Sheeran 50,000 times a day or something if you want to make money.
Yeah.
And so it's really nice. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity, and
Is this station new?
yeah, it's a newer station, and I'm part of what's the thing I'm a part of? A union. I'm part of a union, Cricket.
Oh, look at that.
A guild or union?
SAG-AFTRA. So
SAG, yeah. So it's
SAG-AFTRA. I'm part of the radio talent out there is part of a union. So.
That's
but it's
amazing.
like a guild. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
dope. That's dope. So so you're leaving in like next week, you're gone.
Yeah, my one-way plane ticket.
But you're still going to help us on the associate producer side, behind the scenes.
Yes.
So Nudia when she joined on, she's been helping us behind the scenes.
Yeah.
A lot.
And just kind of it's been good. It's been like a new set of ears that kind of take things out, streamline the episodes. You don't need this, we don't need that. Da, 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 da. She probably says she's doing all the work
Yeah. She
I
runs
I run the podcast.
She runs this podcast.
because that's what everyone does. Right?
Everyone.
We were just talking about everyone.
Nudia, you killing it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, people did. Okay, when you
Listen.
guys announced me on the podcast, like that was gonna be on, like everyone acted like I had won like an Oscar.
Oh, yeah.
Like everyone in my
It's kinda
DM's like,
close.
"Yo, congrats on R.O.A.D." I'm like, "Thanks."
It's kind of close,
Thanks.
Kind of close. It's the hood one.
So we're sad. So like
Yeah.
I guess sporadically. I guess you'll come back and we'll record episodes together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe once a month, but probably more like once every 2 months or so.
Yeah, I
you
think
know?
we'll wing it. We'll see how it goes. Like, again, I have a weekday show, so it's Monday through Friday. If you're in Chicago, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m.
I feel like she's going to blow up and forget about us.
So hanging out with Steve Harvey and Oprah over there.
I'm really excited. Oh, anyone in Chicago, I need friends.
She's going
Yeah.
to have her
Looking
own.
for friends.
It's going to be syndicated.
Actually, we have a lot of listeners and supporters in Chicago.
Yeah.
And DJ homies.
So like, yo,
It's our
there's
fourth city.
mad people in Chicago. There's like Heavy. There's Two Time. There's a bunch of DJs out there.
Yeah, no, like I'm so down because I don't know anyone there. Like I literally, that's kind of what you have to do in radio. You move to a city, like that's how I came to Vegas, And now look, I met so many amazing people, so I'm excited to like see who I'm gonna meet there, and well, this is kind of like we talked about it, like having a game plan for your life, and this is kind of where the direction I wanted to go. I wanted a little bit more stability for my future and my future goals.
That's awesome.
So,
Cool.
and to be able to go to Chicago is like a big deal. I'm really, really excited.
Especially Chicago. You guys saw the rollout video that she put out?
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah.
That was really dope.
Her and Kanye put that together.
I know.
I didn't see the
I did
video.
order
You were tagged, motherfucker.
Wait, did you get a taste of the Chicago weather?
I haven't been out there yet. I haven't been out there.
Make sure you buy a jacket.
No, I'm
a
just,
North Face.
I know.
She's not ready for the Chicago.
No, I'm not ready. I'm not ready at all. But it's
You'll be
fine.
ready. Yeah.
Look, if I could survive a Vegas summer, right? Like
no. The Chicago summers are way worse.
And the winters are way worse.
Yo, Chicago summers and Chicago winters are crazy.
He was telling me that.
Would you say that worse than New York summers?
Yes. No, like Chicago summers are the only summers when I was there. They would report like a death count.
Damn.
Like,
all right, we're being positive right now.
no, like
no, but that's I haven't been to any other city where they're like, okay, the death count for this summer is 8. 8 people have died from the city. It's that humid. It's that crazy. Good luck in Chicago.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
That's some good champagne.
Kiss Champeasy.
I hope you what?
Here we go.
What, Crooked?
He was
Can
too
never just
quiet
be
for 2
happy
minutes.
for me. Market number 3. Good
Yeah.
job.
Good job.
What are you gonna say?
We're gonna
No.
miss you.
I was gonna say good luck. I hope you.
We're gonna miss you, Nudia.
No.
I'm really sad.
Honestly,
Nudia's leaving.
I know you've been wanting this. You went through like what 8 interviews. for
Yeah.
this job.
Yeah.
It's been
So
a minute.
congratulations, man. We're
Yeah,
gonna miss
thank
you. And back to business now.
Yes.
Enough of that.
So you guys have seen we have a South by Southwest event tomorrow, Thursday, March 17th.
Yes,
We'll be working with DJ City and Beat Source.
Yeah.
We'll be taking over Austin, Texas.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, if you've been watching us on IG or in social media, we'll be in Austin already. We'll come in on Tuesday. We're going to be hanging Tuesday, Wednesday. And then Thursday's the big party. We have Buck Rogers DJing from 2 to 6.
Yep.
And then we got a bunch of local dudes, heavyweights DJing from 6 to 10, right? You want to read them off?
ETX.
Yes.
Mark Cuts.
Yes.
Mad.
Yes.
Flawless.
Yes.
Will Torres.
Shout out to Will Torres. I know him.
And Does It All.
Boy.
Nice.
6 to 10 p.m. they will be doing, while at the same time we'll be doing a live recording of a podcast. There.
We'll be doing our kind of like our street talk.
Yeah.
Street Talk Q&A.
Yeah, live podcast where we kind of just go through the crowd. It won't be like a typical podcast. We'll be like interviewing random people and DJs and homies coming in.
Yeah.
I heard like a few local rappers, like legends, are gonna stop through.
Yep.
And then like Paul Wall,
Swisher House.
Swisher House. Somebody, after we do the live podcast, we're gonna be DJing from 10 to close, which is 10 to 2 a.m.
Yes, sir.
So if you guys want to RSVP and come through, go to our social media links. There's going to be an RSVP link.
Yeah.
So make sure you come through and check that.
I'll most likely be in the bio of this, either on Spotify, Apple, SoundCloud, the YouTube. It should be down there.
Yeah. So definitely come through. And this has been 2 years in the making. So we'll see what happens.
Excited, man.
We're going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And try to get, loosey-goosey.
Have a good time.
We're gonna celebrate
some
for
familiar
Nudia.
faces.
Yeah.
Never know who might show
We'll
up.
be toasting to you, Nudie.
I'll be on a plane. I will be
When are you officially leaving?
Thursday night. I have a red eye.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
So she's leaving the day we're
Me
doing
and
this
my
event.
cats.
We'll be toasting to you.
You're gonna fly with
Thank
cats?
you.
God damn it.
Yep.
And then also, this is a kind of a request that
PSA.
Jamie and I have, and Nudia, our associate producer. We're looking for video editors to help us with video clips for social media, and someone to assist us with YouTube as well, with our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And I want people with editing skills. Like, I don't want, just because you think, video clips for social media, I could do that. I could just pull clips and no, it entails a lot more editing, and it also entails some Photoshop work and Illustrator work. And I want someone with YouTube experience if possible, but more likely we're looking for guys and girls who can edit video for us, but they kind of know, the podcast, and they like the podcast, and they know how shit should be run, and
Right.
they fuck with us.
Yeah.
So anyway, if you guys are interested, is there anyone's interested, please reach out to me, Jamie, Nudia, or the podcast
On Instagram.
on DMs or whatever.
Yeah.
And so we're looking for that because we need desperate help. I've been so busy. I haven't put out a video clip on social media.
Yeah,
long.
just a reference. Go on our Instagram, social media. We post little teaser clips of that, and that's what we're looking for. Kind of a fast.
But we
editing.
haven't done one in the longest.
Just
time.
keep scrolling down. So it's just fast paced kind of editing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Storytelling, content use. If you know social media pretty well, go ahead and hit us up as well. We just need somebody that knows the product, understands the vision, and just wants to push this forward.
Yep.
So if you know how to use iMovie, Final Cut, Premiere, whatever it is, Photoshop, hit us up, and we're willing to work with you and shit like that. Bring you on the team, and we'll keep it going after that.
Mm-hmm. And then, what do you call it? Actually, we haven't recorded an episode with all of us, right?
Yeah, right.
And we felt it necessary to do this because this is Nudia's last week here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we were kind of forced to do this. You know?
There's a gun beam to my head right here.
Yeah. But anyway, everyone's been asking for us to talk about the Kanye West documentary.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And they wanted us to speak on Genius. And since all 3 episodes have aired, has everyone seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone can.
Yeah. So, like, I guess, what is y'all take on this? I'm kind of curious.
I guess I was surprised at the timing initially, because I
They released this
feel
doc?
like he's been having like a lot of press with him with Kim, and then a lot of people were looking at him as like a manipulator or like a stalker. So there was like this perfect time to shed some positive light on him. And so I thought the timing was a little interesting, but outside of the timing, I thought it was amazing. Everything that I thought to be true about him was accurate. Like he got shitted on so heavy in the beginning, and he had to constantly prove himself.
That
I
was
think
cool to
it's
see.
carried over into his life right now. Like he still has that chip on his shoulder, where he feels like he has to constantly prove something.
Do you
and
think he was really shit on that badly?
I don't
Yeah.
think he, I
He
think
was
so.
dissed.
No.
I
don't
think
know
he
if
was dissed.
maybe shit on's not the word. Maybe misunderstood, because he was understood to be a great producer. And how many producer rappers have we really seen make it? Not many.
What's your you know what, man? Honestly, everyone's been saying like, oh man, like he went against all these odds, and like, you know, no one believed in him, and da da da. And I was just like,
They gave him the runaround.
I don't know. Like, I think he got a lot of support.
Yeah.
I think he got more support than a lot of artists.
Most people, yeah, but that's okay. So it's like, yo, if you were just like the fashion dude, and like you're like, no, but I'm a great DJ. Like, no, Cricket just he knows that he's just fashion. Like Cricket's not. He's like okay, like whatever DJ, but we only care about your fashion. But you're like, no, like I'm passionate about this other thing. That's
yeah,
how I
but
feel
the
like
whole
it
thing
was.
is this: you can't just talk; you got to do it. And the problem with Ye is he didn't release a single, he didn't rap, he had no features. He's talking about I'm gonna be the best rapper, I'm gonna drop this. This album is dope, and he didn't drop nothing. And we're coming from a time, and he's talking with a crew of motherfuckers, right?
Yeah.
Which is Dame Dash and Jay-Z,
And Biggs.
who were selling vinyl out of the trunk of their car, right? Am I wrong?
No.
They pressed up their own shit. They started their own label, right? On some street level shit. They got their own money and they put it out, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And here they made everything from scratch. They built their buzz, they made their music, and they released their music. Kanye didn't do any of that shit.
I feel like he did though.
He didn't release anything. He had nothing released. So
Yeah,
imagine
the mixtape thing, right?
Imagine like everyone's just kind of like, like if you dope, then drop something. But he ain't dropped nothing. So like it doesn't make any sense for them to be believing anything he's saying. It's like usually if you get a deal, you have a demo, you have a mixtape, you have something out.
Oh, you down with a posse that's rapping already?
Yeah,
that's rapping.
But like, not only that, like you'd have something recorded of you rapping on some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he had nothing.
But he had that feature, right?
No,
like
no,
in the
but
beginning, they showed
he
that
had
feature of
records.
Jay-Z.
He had records done. Like Jesus Walks was done way before his release.
yeah, that's true.
All Falls Down was done, and
But
no one was
I'm
given
saying
a chance.
it wasn't out.
No.
You know
But
what I mean?
this is the thing: is that no label is just gonna give somebody a deal and invest money into them if there isn't a demand for it. If no one's heard anything,
Especially at that time.
so there actually is a level of entitlement for him to expect them to give him all of this shit when he hasn't proved himself. He literally didn't drop one thing.
Yeah.
And you're seeing it from behind the scenes. You know, you understand what I'm saying?
But how else was he supposed to really come in?
Because the way it was come in is that you drop something, you release something on vinyl, you release something, and you go to the radio stations, you shop it, you get it played.
Yeah.
And if the single blows up, then they'll be like, "Yo, you kind of doing your thing, man. Like you just made your own shit. Let's
But he
give you
got
a
a
deal."
shortcut because he was such a good producer, is how I feel. Like he got to know everyone from that production angle and use those contacts.
But do you feel that Dame, or maybe not even just Dame by himself, but do you think they were trying to keep him in that production box and not trying to give him an
The
opportunity?
thing
to
he
do
was
his
just
thing?
all talk. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like a motherfucker was all talk.
But I think D had a point. I feel like they was trying to keep him on as their production.
Yeah, him and Just
and I
Blaze.
deal with him as a rapper. Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Yeah,
then,
try to keep
I don't
them
think it
both
was.
high.
I don't think it was. I don't think they were doing that purposely. I just think they're just kind of like. You have to understand this era of Rockefeller, right? What like. How many heavyweights did they have, man?
Tons.
You had Jay-Z.
You had Jay-Z,
Beanie
Freeway.
Siegel,
Beanie Siegel,
Freeway.
Memphis Bleak.
Freeway, Memphis Bleak,
Young Guns,
Young Guns,
Cameron.
State Property.
I don't know if Cameron was on yet, but you know.
Yeah,
but
because his first album I think released in 02, right?
It was, yeah,
Oh Boy
02.
and all that.
yeah, so
he
but I'm
was-
saying like look at all these heavyweights and platinum artists and gold records they had. And
Yeah.
here's this dude who made all the beats and they're like, yo, this dude's dope on the beats. But how many producers and how many motherfuckers like, yo, I could rap. And,
And
it's
that's
just
what I'm
kind
saying. I feel like because he was a producer first, they looked at him as like a Swiss Beats or like a Jermaine Dupri or Pharrell. Like they kind of can rap, but their main thing has always been production. And he was
yeah,
kinda in
but
that same boat.
it's also like you ain't built like you don't have nothing yet.
yeah.
But he, I mean, throughout the whole documentary, you do see like he's just so selfish, you know, like, so of course he's going to think that it's almost like he's selfish to the point of being delusional. Like he's in completely like his own, like he's like, he used to practice his Grammy speech on the way to take the train.
There's
like,
a lot
that's
of people that do that
wild.
though. There's a lot of kids that do that.
There are, but he was a grown man, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Nah, I just think he was like spoiled. It's like
But I
you know,
think-
it's kind
you
of
could
like
tell his mom.
No,
was
like
spoiled
yo,
him
like
too, yeah.
I've never seen a mother that supportive of their fucking kid.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Like that was
crazy.
That's what I was like. It was everyone was like, yo, no one believed him, and I'm like, yo, I've never seen anybody who had more people that believed in him. He had Talib Kweli and Mos Def.
who was hot at the time.
He had MTV. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He had all of these people.
Yeah, Ruckus records behind him too.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for me, and Rawkus wanted to sign him. And then he had his dude, his homie with the camera.
With the-
It was just
Cootie.
like,
Cootie.
Shout out to Cootie, by the way. That was
No,
a
he
great.
That was
great.
dope.
and
He
but it
great.
was more importantly was his mom's who like she was rapping his rap.
She knew his lyrics.
That was beautiful.
And I'll be honest
And
with
he had
all of us.
and he had a team as well.
Let's be honest. Most of us here in this room, our parents were not supportive of us doing anything creative, especially at that time.
Oh,
Let alone remembering any raps or any shit that we would do. Like that's just unheard of.
Yeah.
You know? So like I think she built Donda literally, rest in peace, built the most confident, like because she believed in him and without a doubt, she believed in him so much. He grew up with this confidence.
Yeah.
This will and drive.
And I
that,
like the
you
fact
know?
that she knew how to check him too. Amongst that, like I
She
think
did
there was
try,
there
yeah,
was one
she
part
did
where
try.
she what was this the line
The
she
giant?
said the giant in the mirror sees nothing.
Yeah.
Like yo, like a
Invisible.
giant doesn't see that he's a giant, so don't act like you're a giant. Like essentially what she was saying, and I like that. Like she was able to compliment him, but also keep him grounded. You know what I mean? But going back to what you were saying, like I feel like he was so adamant about becoming this one thing that even though he had success in other things, it didn't matter to him in his mind. Like all he wanted was this one thing. So he felt like he was just getting slighted in the process of trying to become this one thing.
I think there was so many elements to him becoming successful and so many people giving him and supporting him.
Yeah,
I mean, the
yeah.
fact that Rhymefest gave him Jesus Walks. He didn't rap that shit.
Yeah.
Imagine your first album and their biggest song, you didn't even write it.
Yeah.
Do you feel what I'm saying? That's crazy. Like no one's acknowledging that shit. That's unheard of.
That is
And he had Jill.
He took Rhymefest off of the song. Rhymefest isn't on the song.
And then he tried to give Scarface into the hook.
that was funny. When I
And
saw
then
that part, I was
Scarface
like,
said, nah.
that don't even make sense. I don't know if I want to hear Scarface on this.
Yeah.
Yo, that's why like I look at this shit and I'm like, yo, this is a really driven dude. He's super talented,
Consequence shouts to him too. He
but
wrote
he's
some of it.
extremely selfish and entitled, and he's kind of like a whining brat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I see like the brilliance in a lot of the shit, you know, in what he was doing. And I did not see it from everyone's angle that, oh my God, like no one believes in him.
Dave Chappelle believed in his
Like
ass.
on Jay-Z, they didn't even like really acknowledge him. Like Jay-Z is like, Jay-Z don't give a fuck. Like he's just like,
Yeah.
that dude's like the biggest platinum
Yeah.
artist.
At the time too.
And it's like, yo, Jay-Z don't care about him, but he let him spit a rhyme on the bounce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Come
figured
on,
great
man. Like,
song.
yo,
It's kinda
this dude got
time.
mad support, yo. You know, like I don't care what nobody fucking says.
Ludacris. Chris Pharrell.
Is that how it seems now? Because can you remember back to that time? When was
That's
that,
not
03?
struggle. Yo, never. Is that struggle?
He didn't really struggle that much.
I saw like no struggle. That wasn't even struggle.
No, it wasn't.
I mean,
But he had the production he was doing at the time to back him up.
Did y'all see Hustle and Flow?
yeah.
That's struggle.
I'm saying, I think
He had a nice apartment in Jersey.
I think he didn't struggle by our means, but to him, like by his means, that was a
was
struggle.
not a
Like
struggle.
when he had to
Because
stop,
he wanted a
he had
silver
to stop
platter,
rapping,
bro.
and he had to like go back to full time
He
making
had a
beats just to
he had
support.
a nice whip. He wasn't
Oh
struggling.
yeah, he bought a G-Wagon.
Bro, he was staying at the W for
That's
months.
what I'm saying. Like by his standards, maybe that was a
Like
struggle.
who he taught? Like who
he
is this
couldn't,
motherfucker?
he couldn't get studio time, right? He had to like bounce in other people's sessions just
Yeah,
to
yeah,
Yeah, but that's not even that bad, yo.
People were letting him use their studio. Like that was
Jamie
crazy.
Foxx took him to the fucking studio, bro.
Yeah.
But you know what, man? I went.
He
to,
must have a big likability factor. Sorry, Dynamiq.
No. It's all good.
Probably, yeah.
This is the thing about Kanye, and then I heard this in Chicago, like especially later on. He's that annoying dude who crosses the hospitable line.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
They want, like
To get what they want,
push-
and that's why a lot of people didn't necessarily like him. You know what I'm saying? Because he just overstayed his welcome everywhere.
Yeah.
But he got the shit done, and then he became so big that everyone was just like, you know.
we gotta let it go.
Well, it's just kind of like, you know, if Kanye hits you up and he was annoying, but he's a platinum artist, he's like, yo, I need your help. What you gonna say?
Right.
Nah, you annoying? You be like, fuck it, like, you know,
Yeah.
let's see what happens.
But I
know?
kind of understand his mentality too now, because I feel like he went through a period where he had to fight for his worth, right? Fight for like, yo, I belong here. I belong here.
Yeah, but everyone does that.
Right. But then later he became the go-to dude. So he has this thing like, oh, now you want to fuck with me? Now you want to, you know what I'm saying? I see that in him. Like he has like that shit where he's going to remind you how you used to treat him all the time. And now that he's
But you know what? But you know what? A lot of people that helped him out, he kind of left behind when he blew up.
Yeah.
Like Cootie, the photographer, after the first album, disappeared. He's like, stop
But
calling.
then when he needed him for Jesus Walks, remember?
no,
he
no.
came
After
back?
Jesus Walks, after
No,
that,
after the Grammy shit.
Oh, yeah.
exactly. Yeah, he
yeah.
did. Stop fucking with him. He stopped fucking with Rhyme Fest.
GLSC.
Exactly.
Currency.
But then you see Ron Fest is back.
Consequence.
Yeah, that's
You
they.
know?
They eventually come back in some form or another.
It's funny because when Cootie got ousted out, right? It was the time when Virgil and all these other Don C and all these other people came in.
but Don C was always in the loop.
yeah, but he's not documented anywhere.
No, he's not into like.
He's not
post the
talked
second
about. But
album.
he's just in the background, or whatever. But yeah,
Yeah, but it's kind of weird that they don't talk about Don C, Virgil, or even like Jerry Lorenzo or
Yeah.
IBN. Like IBN wasn't mentioned at
that's
all.
like you said.
And
That's
he was
when,
just
that's when,
barbering.
when he blew up and he stopped fucking with Cootie.
But see, that's the most interesting. I thought I was gonna see some of that, and I
Yeah,
see
yeah.
none of that shit. So for me, all I saw were 2 episodes that were basically longer versions of
Through the Wire?
His come up.
Yeah, of the scenes I saw in Through the Wire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when would you say them dudes
Am I wrong?
Yeah.
I literally saw like the raw footage of shit.
Yeah.
Some of it was so raw, I was like, okay, this is a long scene right here. You know, you could cut some of this shit.
Him walking around the office.
You know,
But I feel like those 2 first episodes were so good, and like, but they like fast forward through like the majority of all the shit we really want to know about.
Yeah.
But I felt like those 2 first episodes were so good. I was like, this is amazing PR. Like he looks crazy right now in the media, like Kim and Pete and shit. And now they have these. They're making him a human now. Like they're humanizing him, giving him emotions. They show him sitting there while everyone's at the video shoot, and like people could relate to that. How many times have you been in a room and you feel like you don't belong, or people are like trying to push you out, or like not really talking to you? Like I think that's why people sympathize with him, because everyone's been there where you're in a room and all the cool kids are over here and you're like trying to get in, you know? I'm surprised he really agreed to release that 3rd episode, because it really did not make him look good. Like all this great PR you had in the first 2 episodes, like just went downhill from there. He looked crazy in the last episode.
well, you can't say he looked crazy. He had a bunch of manic episodes, but you could also see he's just spread too thin, and he's coordinating too much.
Yeah.
It's like you walk into a room and he has 5 different things going on. He's putting together a live show. He's putting together the lights and artwork and everything for a live show, the creative direction for that. He's doing sneakers. He's doing clothing. He's doing his album, and then he's doing something else.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like these 5 things, and the thing is like he's having manic episodes, and this is the crazy thing, because I've had it happen to me because I multitask a lot, but it's like you're trying to explain your vision, and but you're like grasping from different projects and different experiences that no one knows what you're talking about, and he's like trying to communicate it out, but he can't do it, so he just sounds like he's just rambling on about nonsense. But he's not. He's just like he's enabled to like grasp who's aware and who's not aware of every, like he thinks everyone should know everything that's going on in his world. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So he's like talking to real estate guys, and he's talking to them like they're there for his meetings at 9 a.m. or they were there like a week ago, and he's trying to explain the feeling. It's like, I thought the perfect examples was when he was talking with his father, and he's just like, yo, I'm about to see these bowls, and he sounds crazy, right?
Yeah.
These bowls, like, I just got real emotional.
He was trying to get so...
And he was just kind of like, what the fuck is he talking about? And his father's like, what are you talking about? And then you see him go to this, and there's a maker who specializes in pottery and all of that shit, and has a kiln and does everything by hand. You're like, oh, he's inspired by these bowls. And it just took this simple thing as the bowls to have him go see the maker of it. Yeah. To kind of delve in deeper on how this person made all this organically. You know, and it was inspiring to him. But it's just like he doesn't know how to communicate that shit. And that's honestly been his problem.
We've talked about
since the first episode. He doesn't know how to communicate his vision to people. So he's just ranting to people. But he doesn't realize that everyone has their own life to deal with.
Yeah.
So he's going to people's offices playing their music.
You're interrupting their whole ass day.
Do you know what I'm saying? And it's just, it's very entitled, and it's very selfish. It's very narcissistic.
Yeah.
And the problem is the more money you give him, the more resources you give him, and the more, people you surround him with who are enabling his ability, he's going to just get worse. And it's going to multiply more and more, like 10 times, 100 times. And that's what he is right now.
Do you think we've talked about
and another thing, how do you stop that? If you have somebody who has $1 billion company,
unlimited resources, you
can't.
can't
how do you stop him? If you work for him and you're making a check, how do you stop him?
You really can't.
Well, also there's no consequences.
If he's $1 billion corporation, he's the driving force behind a lot of careers, a lot of industries, like
and a lot of normal people's paychecks,
clothing industry, like shoe industry, entertainment industry. Like, I don't know how you stop that machine. Like, he has so many. He's in pocket with so many people. Like, who's going to tell him anything that's not his peer?
But also,
and even his peers don't look like him.
Yeah, what are the consequences for him though? Like, what, he's going to get blasted on social media? He doesn't give a shit about that.
No, I was watching the thing.
Like, where there's no consequences for him, like.
It's tough, man, because he is so powerful. Like, I was watching the thing with D.O. Hughley, and he was like, yo, like, if that was anyone else, we'd be talking about him stalking somebody. But because he's a billionaire, he's
talking about what he's doing with Pete Davidson, right?
Yeah. Like, that was like literally like some stalker shit, or like endangering this man's life. But because he's a billionaire and he has status, like, people kind of like laugh it off and not take it serious.
But I got a question about that.
Yeah.
Do you... And it's a fucked up question, but it's a real question. I mean, it comes from life, right?
A good place.
If you're dating the woman of somebody very powerful, do you think it's okay for nothing to happen to you? To have there be no consequences? That you can just live an easy life dating a woman?
Not. You're saying that's what comes with the territory?
Yeah.
It's kind of like Pete has to understand, if I'm going to date Kim, or if anyone's to date a celebrity, you kind of got to already understand, I'm stepping into this situation, knowing I'm gonna be fucked with.
But who expects the situation that bad though?
But the thing is, Pete knew Kanye before he was dating Kim.
Yeah, he paid for the Nobu dinner.
Damn.
And on top of the fact that at the time she's still married.
With the Nobu dinner, you got to explain that.
Oh yeah, so like he ended up being best friends with Kid Cudi because he was a big fan of his music, and then he took him out for his birthday to dinner, and then that actor Timothy Chalamet was there. Yeah,
Chalamet.
So he's like, okay, we're good. Like 3 skinny dudes at Nobu, it's fine. He put down his card, and then Cudi's like, Kim and Kanye are coming through, and he said Kanye walked in. Kanye's like, I want shit that ain't on the menu. He's like, I want something that's not even on here. He's like, and I want the private room. So Pete had to end up paying for everything.
Oh, wow.
So he sunned him, bro. Already.
So like, so it is that selfish thing where he walked
Shit.
into a room and he just started demanding shit, not knowing who's paying for it. Like, really?
I mean,
like that's crazy.
And then he took his girl.
But
I don't think he took his
back
girl.
to Kanye real quick. Like, remember we've talked a few times about people that are in power that have no ability to trust others to empower them to help them. Do you see that in Kanye?
say that again.
We've talked in the past about individuals that are in a position of power that don't necessarily know how to empower others to help them along the way. Is that something that you see in him?
No,
I don't see that.
No,
because he took Rhyme Fest's whole song. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he's not a guy that's like I have to make everything from scratch. He's kind of the guy that's like, if that's gonna help me, yeah, I'll take that.
yeah.
But Kanye have helped a lot of people.
Yeah,
John Legend, Common, Big Sean.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's been selfish.
Pusha
Whatever.
T.
yeah, but
exactly. It's just that at one point he
Keisha
get tired
Cole.
of it. He just like kind of like step aside from them.
I think this is the problem. Is like you're like he helped people, but then he also talks shit about. Big Sean said that.
I
was
said
the
eventually,
biggest,
yeah.
What he said that was the biggest regret.
On his tombstone, it's gonna be like, "I'm here because I signed Big Sean."
Well, he said like that was the biggest regret I had was
Yeah.
signing Big Sean.
Did you guys see?
But no, I think you need to talk about this because you're acting like this is a dude who's like, yo, like he stands by people.
No, I just said that he helps them out, and then like when he gets tired of them or they disagree with him, he shits on them.
I just think that's all celebrities, bro.
Like he did the same thing with Talib Kweli.
Oh yeah,
He
on
said
Drink Fan.
that was the
Drink
worst rapper of all time. I'm like, dude, this guy helped you and
Took him on
the
tour.
beginning of the stage of rapping.
It's like Cypher Sound says, everyone gets amnesia.
Yeah,
You know,
Amnesia.
Yeah.
But look, in the end of it all, like that's all. Like I just think all celebrities are like that. I think like with celebrities that don't know how to dress, they surround themselves with people like stylists. They'll get a stylist or they'll befriend people who can teach them how to dress. And as soon as they're becoming like, yo, this person's a fashion icon, they're just gonna find the next person that's gonna help
I mean,
their career.
that was Mr. C's beef, right? On his Instagram post about the heavy hitters. That he didn't show no heavy hitters.
But he know it was DJ Enough. He didn't show no love to.
Oh, okay.
And apparently Enough kind of put him on Hot 97, started playing his music before anyone.
Yeah.
And Quiz confirmed this also.
Yeah, but the biggest problem is that this was a documentary about Kanye West, but it was from the eyes of Cootie.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm just thinking like when I heard him narrating it and showing his family in the beginning, I'm like, okay, this is going to be kind of a distorted picture because this guy.
Bias. It's a biased viewpoint.
Well, yeah, I mean, because this guy is going to, like it's more his story and his interpretation of what was going on.
I did think that was weird that it was so heavily narrated by him.
It had to be heavily narrated because there wasn't enough footage to tell a story. So he needed someone to narrate a story and implant the footage to support the narration, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
Which is why the ending is the way it ended. There really is no ending.
Yeah.
But Cody finds a way to, make it kind of pull it all together. And then he implants footage of his daughter and all of this shit at the end. Do you know what I mean? So you feel this like, oh, like this is an ending, like, but it's not really an ending.
And it definitely didn't feel good. It's not a feel good ending.
But it was a good documentary.
Oh yeah, it's well put together. Yeah.
But I just don't. I think it's funny, people's interpretation of what they see because I didn't see struggle at all. Like for me, that was mild, bro. That was
mild,
fucking mild.
And like I said, I forgot all the music he did in those years before he started rapping.
So good. That Scarface shit is so good.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Guess who's back?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that might be one of his best beats of all
That was
time.
a dope beat. And I forgot I knew he did a lot of the Talib and Black Star stuff, but I forgot a lot of that
He
stuff.
did that Ludacris stand up. I'm like,
Yeah. I had no clue he was on Def Poetry Jam. And I didn't remember that at all.
I remember
don't know
that.
if you remember that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh wow, I don't remember.
He was on there
any
like
shit.
twice.
He was really milking that Lauryn Hill song, huh? Because he did a verse from that shit. And that's all he kept playing that song.
Yeah.
I feel like that may have been one of the few songs he actually wrote.
Which one?
I'm so proud of it. I just can't believe he took a song like Jesus. Yo, would you have?
I would have never.
Oh
thought
man,
this.
I just don't have the nerve to take a song from somebody and then claim all the rewards for it. Do you know what I'm saying?
A lot of people do that shit though. A lot of artists.
I think that's crazy.
He had to have had a conversation with Ryan Fest about that, right? Like, there's no way
or like
he
give
did
him
that.
Ryan Fest agreed with it. It's like, just pay me something. Yeah, it's all yours.
I really
You probably didn't think it'd be good.
Huh?
You probably didn't think it'd blow up. You really thought Jesus Walks was gonna blow up?
I think, yeah.
Kanye knew.
You think?
I don't think Ron Fest knew.
Yo, the sad shit was when you saw the footage of Ron Fest rapping his shit, you're like, he ain't on the song.
Yeah.
He got taken off. I wanted to see Cootie get the conversation like, yo, Ron Fest, I really think it's best if I just stay on this song and it's just be me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that had to have the conversation.
Yeah.
I don't know if he gave him more publishing or if he probably just gave him 10K.
He probably gave him something.
He probably gave him 5K. He probably gave him 5K.
Because you would have heard it by Ron Fest trying to sue him for that song.
I just remember everyone telling me whenever they met Ron Fest, he'd say, yeah, I wrote Jesus Walks.
That's his fame. Claim to fame.
It's like when motherfuckers was hanging out with Nav. He kept saying he wrote back to back.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Hey, yo, I'm Nav. Yeah, I wrote back to back. The Drake
producer. Do you think by any means that song would have blew up if Ryan Fest would have did it? No. If it was just Ryan Fest?
Nah.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you remember the Ryan Fest song, Brand New?
Yeah.
Brand new.
I still got it on my laptop.
That song was kind of dope.
I like that song.
The beat, yeah.
No, and then I saw people getting mad, but like, yo, why wouldn't you sign Kanye? Like, you let Petey Crack come before him, like all this whack.
Petey Crack was popping.
Yeah, I was just like, yo,
he had a minute.
Yo, fam, Petey Crack was popping in New York.
Like,
I don't know what they.
Wait, was he real? Because he didn't hit the West Coast like that.
Ooh, yeah, he was popping in New York.
Yeah,
he was bubbling hard like that. Pause.
What was that one song that would like? It was when. What was that? What was that?
It starts off with the violin.
No. What was the club? Greenhouse.
Yeah,
it was the Greenhouse days. He had that one song. He had like two songs that were just. That was you could just drop it from the
Which one?
Shit was huge.
Yeah.
In New York, you could drop it from the one
in the club.
Yeah,
hard. It's like Dipset era.
Yeah.
Wow.
That shit was huge.
They're like, yo, why did they sign that one girl in the hotel room, but they would have signed Kanye? I was just like, fam.
I feel like the song that blew up was Flipside on the West Coast. Like everyone knew Flipside. Well, other than that,
because fucking you guys,
they did not explain what was going on at Rockefeller. Like Rockefeller had so much shit going on.
Yeah.
The last
I remember they kept pushing out promo singles nonstop. Like you go to a record store, you just saw all these Rockefeller 12-inch singles.
They had so much shit. It was so many artists that were like, I don't think people realized like before the 50 Cent era.
Well, that's that famous Jay-Z clip that he said he went back to Rockefeller and he told everybody, yo, put everything you could put it out because 50 Cent is coming.
Yeah.
And once 50 Cent
that's
dropped,
what they was doing.
Everyone sat down.
Yo, fam, they had it felt like Jay-Z had like 3 records dropping every month almost.
Yeah.
Excuse Me Miss remix. Don't Stop. It was just like
even before that when it was dropping, what was the joint with the oh man.
And then they had the movie shit.
There was so many songs I can't even think of all
the state
right
property movies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Blueprint 2, the Linkin Park shit,
the clothing line.
Yeah.
Well, that came after 50 drop, but before that, I'm talking about.
I mean, he had the clothing line. He had everything, bro. It was just so much shit going on. And then here's this Kanye West who doesn't have one song out. No one's talking about him at all. But then, you know what I mean? But then it's nuts. Like when I saw
the Street Property soundtrack had all of them on there.
Yeah. When I saw this going on, I'm like, he looks nuts.
But then what
he did look crazy.
But then he proved himself because he put everything together and he had something to show and he put something out and then he got where he needed to be. But they're not just. He wanted it like silver
easier.
platter.
He just wanted like. It's like there were so many people that like struggled way harder than him, but he was always constantly like patting himself on the back. Like I put up my money for my video, and I was like, "Yo, you put together a dope video," and it was like that video was really dope. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, like you saw the visions for all these. Honestly, man, let's be honest with that first album. Through the Wire was the dopest video.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. All the other videos were whack.
You thought Jesus Walks was whack?
That was whack.
No, you weren't.
Really? You thought the other one with
the Lauryn Hill
All Falls Down?
That was whack. Too.
That was not whack.
That was whack. You guys
bugging.
Are you crazy?
All Falls Down.
Bugging.
I remember that video.
That video was whack. The Through the Wire was the most interesting and creative video, and it had the lowest budget. Mm-hmm. And I'm wondering if that's all Cootie.
I think
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because when you see his vision, like Kanye could not communicate his vision for Jesus Walks. How many videos did he shoot? 3?
I want to say he did 3
He did
videos
3,
for that.
yeah.
That's fucking nuts.
I mean, Spaceship never got out. They shot a video for that. That shit never got out.
Because they said he didn't like Hype Williams' vision, right? For Jesus Walks, and then
Dude, new workout plan.
Oh.
Was that why?
It's funny, man, because Kanye West really has a vision, but it always entails taking something that's already in existence and implementing it. Even Murakami,
Yeah.
like that. He goes to existing artists to recreate. Do you know what I'm saying?
You know what? The Slow Jams video was good.
But we're talking about the first album.
Yeah, that's
Slow Jams was on the first album.
I don't even remember.
That's the
it.
first. Yeah.
Dude, there were so many hits.
But that was the
on
last single, wasn't it?
To the Wire.
No, that was one of the first singles.
I think it might have been the second single. I think that might have been the second single.
Yeah, I think you're wild and crooked.
Oh no,
Man.
I think you're right.
And then
I
All
think the
Falls Down.
videos for the second album were kind of.
Yeah.
Are you crazy? What that Good Life was insane.
That's the third
That's
album.
the third
Is
album.
that
That was
third album?
that was Graduation.
I think you're thinking of the second one, buddy.
I actually kind of want to talk about how interesting it was. Like back then, you needed so many people to execute something. Like
For example,
you needed a camera guy like Hootie,
Yeah.
right, to document shit.
director.
Right, you needed a studio. You
engineer.
needed so many people's help to get things done.
Right.
You know, like someone needed to know how to edit. There was it was just, it took all of these homies to help and to pitch in. Whereas now, like, it's really just a kid and a computer, and they can make music, they can make their own video, they can do selfies and do their own marketing. And it's really like a one-man band.
Yeah.
When you need so many people to execute things back in the day. I thought that was just interesting.
You
And
need like an entourage.
You need a buffer too, because there's no way you're gonna walk into a major record label with just cameras like that.
Yeah, you needed a crew. Like
Yeah.
that's why back in the day you needed an entourage, which
Yeah.
makes me question like an entourage now. Like what goes on with the entourage besides security? Because technology has made it so that people can move like kind of a little bit more scarcely. Because for Cootie to take a camera with him and to document someone's life, right? Who they believe in, like would anybody ever do that now?
No, that took a lot. He probably did. All that shit
But
for
even
free.
back then, nobody was thinking about doing that. Especially a new artist like Kanye.
Nah, I just remember always having like, it was always a homie with a camcorder and you kind of recorded everything y'all did. I mean, that like even when I was growing up, like I was the dude with the camcorder
Yeah.
and then editing the footage at home.
But
But
to the
Like, what would you?
but I'm saying,
recorded
like-
though? Like rappers or?
I mean, I recorded every, like I
Just shit
recorded
you was
like,
doing?
yeah, I recorded us like my homies like tagging up.
Oh, okay.
I recorded a lot of illegal shit actually, right?
Yeah.
I
Allegedly, you did all that.
I recorded. Well, I didn't tag up, but I recorded like my homies tagging up. I recorded my homies like bagging ounces, and like and like editing it, making my own music videos. But I'm thinking about now, like you don't really, like I don't think anyone would. I guess I could be wrong. I guess
Yeah.
people
Well, I
do
mean, to
document.
the point where he put his own career on pause. To
I
me,
don't.
that
I
was
don't
a
think
big-
he had a career. So
Well, I think he
was a
had a lane
comedian.
with comedy.
Yeah.
with,
Yeah,
with,
he-
with,
he's up and coming.
with Channel Zero. Like he had a lane, but he saw something in Kanye that made him move to New York and put his shit.
Yeah,
on
he took a
pause.
break.
Like I was like, that's
He was running around
to
with
me that was a
D-Ray.
big deal. Like if he like
D-Ray.
essentially put his life on pause to like help this guy. You know? What I mean?
Yeah.
There's
That
people
was a
like
lot.
that nowadays, though. I think if someone
No, I think
if someone believes in you,
See, like,
And
I don't
they
think
expect
so.
something out of it.
I had a lot of video help, like with my radio career early on.
I think of it very cynically. I just think he didn't have anything going on for himself, and he's just like, let me see if anything can pop off with this dude. That'll
Because he
like,
got a lot
rub
of
off
clout.
on me.
Yeah, he got a lot of clout from that. Like he got a lot of work from working with Kanye.
I just
That
think
is-
he knew that Kanye was like gonna make it, and he was just like, let me tag along with this dude, and some of that shit will rub on.
Well,
here.
he
Maybe I
also
can
knew
grab
that
some
once
content.
Kanye was going to blow up, that he was going to like cut him off
Which
because he
did,
talked
yeah.
about that earlier in the episode. Like I'm pretty sure after Kanye going to do his thing, win the awards, he going to forget about me.
I just wish I saw the Dante, Virgil,
IBN.
and
Yeah.
Jerry Lorenzo. I wish I saw
Like
a
that
little bit
dynamic.
more of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dynamic.
especially with Virgil's passing, I would have wanted to see like early designing shit. of
I
all
feel like
that.
someone got footage of that.
I don't know.
Who's the homie?
I don't
that,
think so.
Who's the homie that used to run the clothing store in Vegas? That used to roll with him?
Oh, Julian,
Julian, yeah.
Chris Julian.
But they met him much later. They met him.
No, they came around like around graduation time, right?
No, I want to see like 05, 06 of them putting shit together, which would have been dope. I mean, it does show Don C, but it doesn't show him in the early days. Like, it doesn't show like putting together outfit, like the double polos and all that shit that he was doing. None of that fashion shit.
The weird shit about the double polos is that when I was going to school in Chicago for the Art Institute of Chicago, motherfuckers was dressing like that already.
I was going to say, were you wearing that? Were you guys wearing
I remember
those
you
outfits?
said that before. You said like that was like a Chicago. That was
was just some Chicago shit. And when I was going to school in Chicago in like 96, 97, I was there for 2 years. I was like producing. And this is the funny thing is like, I obviously I went to school. I had like I went to Art Institute of Chicago. I had like a merit scholarship, and I was like learning about studio work. And we would like, I remember being broke and not having money. Like I couldn't even afford food. And then like I would go to groceries. Have I talked about this before?
No, you told me one time.
Like I remember going to grocery stores and like stealing food.
Yeah,
like rice-a-roni and like chicken.
And then you like go to the pantry,
like stuffing them, and then like there were these kitchen lockers for the students, and I was breaking into the kitchen lockers to eat because I didn't have food. I couldn't afford food.
Damn,
that's a real struggle.
And I was just I was a straight up thief in Chicago. Like I would break into studios and I'd steal mics, so that I was making beats at the time. So like I had mic stands, I had mics. And like I was working with all these Chicago like local rappers. One of them was named Pugsley, and that dude was literally like the Kanye of like 2000. Yeah. He was that in like 96, 97. The double polos, wearing polos as inside shirts on with collar shirts.
Yeah,
like Eddie Bowered up, like with the backpacks. Yeah. That was to me when I saw that I thought that was Chicago style.
Yeah.
So when I saw Kanye doing that, I was like, these motherfuckers still dressing like this in the 2000s. That's how I felt.
Yeah,
and it was different back then. Like when I was in Chicago. So like I don't know. Like I don't like when everyone's like, yo, he started that look with the polos and everything. I was like, nah. Like I felt like that was happening in Chicago already.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. He just brought attention to the mainstream with it.
But no one ever talks about that.
Yeah, they make it seem like he's like the inventor of it.
Yeah, I just think there's a lot of weird shit, man. Like
I never thought that he was the inventor of that. I always took it as that's some Chicago shit, and he's like shedding light on what Chicago.
Yeah, because I remember I saw a video of Don C doing his hats with the snakeskin on it, and he was like painting it and shit, and he was just like, yo, they used to do this shit in Chicago all the time. Like back in the 90s, like this was a thing. But it's 2012 now and people love it. But it all comes from Chicago. So just bring it to the light and shit.
I think it is exhausting to work with someone like that, though, where they constantly are patting themselves in the back and giving themselves credit.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I would like to think that he gives credit to motherfuckers, but it doesn't. I didn't see any evidence of that in the videos.
I wonder
Did you?
Nah, I didn't.
You know, as many people that helped him, it was kind of like it was always about him, and he was always talking.
I mean,
about
he gave
him.
credit to Dame Dash,
but he also shitted on Dame Dash.
Yeah, he's like, because the label doesn't want to give me. I put my own money, $33,000 for this video. I was like, damn, Dame is right there, bro.
I just think it's funny how like a lot of motherfuckers are coming out and they're shitting, like, you know, Kanye West is shitting on Talib Kweli, Big Sean.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
He's shitting on all of these people. And then like no one's appreciating motherfuckers who put them on. Yeah. Even like with like the Game, right?
Yeah.
Who was on what, Drink Champs or some shit?
Yeah.
It was like he's talking shit about Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
And saying that Kanye did more for his career than Dr. Dre.
In the last 2 weeks.
I don't understand.
That was
like
bold.
Why would you say that shit?
I don't know.
Like,
Game is crazy, man. He just says whatever, man.
I think that.
But what is with this generation where they don't appreciate motherfuckers?
Well, I think he was salty. Everyone thinks they're owed shit, so I think he was salty.
You know
about
what I
the
think
Super
it
Bowl.
is?
Yeah,
I think it's that.
Yeah.
But
I'm about to say that.
When the 50 Cent G Unit shit happened with Game, I felt like he in his mind thought that Dre was gonna have his back, and Dre just kind of like distanced himself from both sides and didn't really take a side. And I feel like Game always held that against him, because even on his next album,
Doctor's Advocate,
he kind of hinted at that, like, yo, like I did it, I'm back, and I did it without the help of Dre. Like no one had my back. You know what I mean? He went on a lot of rants during that time that no one had his back, and he kind of had to like reinvent himself on his own. So I feel like he always kept that chip on his shoulder.
Like, yo,
you know what I mean?
Like, boo fucking who? Like, I really don't give a fuck. Like, you got he was given like 2 songs from 50, right?
I thought that was
Yeah,
harsh
there was a few.
because bro, like two of his biggest singles were Dre productions. You know what I'm saying?
And like you got given.
How We Do is a Dre production, and so
West
was like the
Side
first
Story.
West Side
West Side
Story.
Story.
Like, come on,
that was an ill beat.
Yeah.
If you know what, like the West Side Story beat was almost to me like In the Club Part 2.
Yeah.
That's how nasty that beat was. And Game did nothing with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like Game literally did nothing with that beat. That beat was so fucking hard.
Yeah.
It was
when
nasty.
it came out, I was like, yo, this shit is crazy.
I heard, I was like, yo, this is like In the Club Part 2. I'm like, and I'm listening. And he just came on, and I was like, okay, it's not bad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It didn't do anything.
Yo, that dude, like, why are these motherfuckers? They get given shit and then they get expected. Like, they just expect the shit to keep going. And then when they have to work and build the shit themselves for the first time, they're like, man, this is unfair. This is unfair.
And two of his biggest hits.
Do you know how crazy that is?
Two of his biggest hits is written by 50.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how could you? Like, how could you?
Not one, but 2.
He didn't write the chorus. He didn't do nothing but spit like 1 verse or 2 verses on that shit, right?
Yeah, 1 verse.
Yo,
I think.
But you know,
I would never talk.
I'm not justifying any of his actions, but I think he was in an era, and Jamie can attest to this. He was in an era where you really didn't make it in LA unless you had that Drake cosign. So in his mind, he wasn't going to make it unless he has some kind of like backing from Dre. And so when that beef happened and he didn't have anything, he probably thought he was finished.
He's a millennial, right?
He's
You think so?
He's a young
like
dude.
a couple years older than me.
But
He's a
also,
millennial.
you have to know, like, it's weird that he acts this way because in LA, the Game is like a fucking king. Like, they treat him like he's like the biggest like hometown hero in LA.
Why?
So it's like,
I don't understand.
Well, at the
why.
time,
they
there was
really
nobody
do.
out.
I'm saying we didn't
why.
get anything. We didn't have anything.
We didn't have it.
up
We
to
had
the
the game. That's what we had, the Game, and we like all loved him and praised him.
There was a huge gap between NWA, Snoop Dogg,
Huge
all that.
gap.
Tupac,
And then Tupac, and then it was like the Game, and then after that, it was kind of like the new wave, like
Mustard, YG,
Nipsey. Yeah, so it was a huge gap in between. Game was literally it
For the
about
2000s,
10
for the
years.
early 2000s, yeah.
He had a good run.
Yeah,
I couldn't even fathom listening to the Game talk for more than like 3 minutes.
I watched the whole thing.
Did you? I
what
couldn't.
the fuck's wrong with you?
I watched the whole 4 hours.
And I was a big Game fan, but fuck that, bro. After a while, he just
I
said
just
too
saw the
much
clips,
nonsense.
Yeah, I watched the whole thing.
It's too much nonsense, bro.
But he was feeling himself too when he started talking about he was on Eminem level. And
No, he was better than Eminem.
I was like,
Yo.
oh,
That he could do a versus versus Eminem.
yeah.
What are you playing when Lose Yourself comes on?
Yeah, I don't know.
Hater or
Fucking
lover?
Red Nation.
Dude,
Maybe.
it's not gonna happen.
Nah, he's interesting. I don't know if anything he said was justified, but it was entertaining.
And you gotta feel for Game, because I would be upset too if I was at the Super Bowl and it was in LA and I'm looking on stage and the guy you hate, 50 Cent, is performing
Yeah.
In your city.
with the guy that put you on, Dr. Dre. I would be like, yo, fuck
But
everyone, man.
but like
put
you
him on,
fucked
not
up
Dre,
that
though.
much. You
But
fucked up
who
that much.
would expect the Game in there? Like, who would expect the Game to come out?
And what song are you playing?
Jamie,
And what
D,
song is he
y'all
gonna
from
play?
LA.
What song is he gonna perform? Hated
Let me
to
tell
Love
you.
It?
Let me tell you. You know what? Who I'm expecting
If you
before?
saw he performed, 50 was on there. His
You know what
biggest
I'm
song.
expecting before him? YG. And what song? BPT. And that fucking
There's no
stadium
way
was-
they're gonna play BBC.
no.
Crazy.
There's
No,
At the Super
no,
Bowl?
listen to me.
You're
to me.
wildin', man.
No, that's who I'm expecting before the game. YG's a bigger presence.
This is the funny thing. We're saying he's crazy, right? You're crazy for thinking BPT is gonna play at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, that whole Dr. Dre, Eminem, 50 Cent performance
Snoop Dogg.
and
Snoop
Snoop
and
Dogg
Mary.
was basically the BPT of like
The
The
90s.
Dude, you had fucking Snoop Dogg say "Cool Rip," like, dog. You don't. That shit is crazy on national television.
But I think Snoop
It
is
is
like
nice.
a national pastime now, where he's just looked
He
at
is,
as
man.
He was
he's
so
looked at as like a
great.
forefather. So
He was so great.
the fact that YG is still active, like in
No,
the
no,
streets,
I get what you're saying,
and
but
I think
I'm
that's
saying-
what Game was saying
what I
too.
would-
Is like he's not the safe choice.
no one's calling YG
Yeah.
ever to do Super Bowl. No,
No.
That would never happen.
No,
Never.
no. But listen to me.
Never.
To me, he's a bigger representation of LA now than the Game probably ever was.
If I saw the Game come out, it would be like Little Mama walking out when Alicia Keys and Jay-Z was
She could do
performing
lip gloss
Empire
and-
State
and
of
do lip gloss.
No, when she walked out when Empire State of Mind was getting performed by Alicia Keys and Jay-Z and
Yeah.
Grammys.
Uh-huh.
Add that picture right
that
now.
was fucking nuts. Yeah.
I was completely fine with just Kendrick. Like he can represent
Yeah,
LA.
1,000.
You know what I mean? For the new generation.
But the game's always been delusional. He's been talking about like, he fucks every girl, he does all this shit. Dude, that dude's just all talk.
What is his stance in 2010? It's
Nothing.
like it's
He
a
has no
hot
hit.
mess. It's him talking about smashing Kim Kardashian
It's
or
just
like
like
Courtney.
an old dude. It's like an
Yeah,
old dude
it's just
talking.
like-
Yeah,
You
still
know,
beefing.
like the star football player that just talks about how great high school was. You know,
Yeah.
It's like, bro, stop.
I didn't even realize he had 10 albums.
He does.
He 10 albums.
Yeah.
Yeah,
more than that.
they're working on his 10th with Ye, or he already has 10 existing albums. And I was just like, wait a minute, that's a lot because I can only think about 3.
That's bullshit.
Same
Are you
here.
serious?
Yeah,
No
he
more than 4.
Yeah, but I mean, he's come out with some real mid albums in the last 10 years, like shit that I just never even gave a chance. I think he even came out with an album maybe 2 years ago, 1 or 2 years ago.
That's some sad ass shit.
It is.
Even T.I. stopped making albums, and T.I. is way more talented than the game. Like when T.I. stops making albums,
Yeah.
he knows like it's
But I guess he got
wrap.
an album coming right with Ye production.
game.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
touched
working
it-
on something.
He touched on it briefly in that interview.
Yo, watch He Bodies. Watch is the best album ever of all
I
time.
mean, he self-proclaimed it. He said like it's like the best work, and he felt inspired to work with him. Some crazy shit.
Yeah, you're gonna drop him soon.
Damn, he has like 11 albums.
That's fucking nuts.
He has 11 albums. He
Is that good or bad? That's bad,
That
isn't
he has
it?
11 albums.
That we
That
know.
what?
We see in my head. I thought he had 3.
I thought he had 4 or 5.
I thought he had 3.
What
That's
was
what
the
I'm
3 you
saying.
thought?
I
The
could,
documentary?
like, care less.
The documentary, the
doc-
second one with the
Dr.
One
Pepper.
Blood.
One
the,
Blood.
the One Blood sample,
And then LAX?
and then the third one that had like was Wouldn't Get Far the second album.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the second.
I guess the third album was the one that was kind of popping in the club for a little bit, where it was like I don't know, it sounded like lifestyle a little
Oh, that was like, yeah, it was a celebration.
celebration.
Oh, with Tiger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that on,
Damn, and even that was like 10 years ago.
Jesus Peace? It was 2012.
Yeah, man.
10 years ago, bro. Yeah, bro. I don't know. The game, he's a liar and he's not represented.
yeah. What's going on with Snoop Dogg buying Death Row? So he owns all of Death Row
He's
now.
the new owner of Death Row Records.
Yeah.
How did he do?
Well,
Did they-
he bought the catalog. Yeah.
yeah, how much
Yeah.
was it? How much did he pay?
Okay, no,
Did
they're
they-
keeping it hush hush on what he
Yeah,
bought
they're
it
not
for.
saying it.
But it has to be a lot. But it excludes Dre's stuff and Tupac stuff.
Yeah.
So all the good.
But those are the biggest albums
Yeah.
from Death Row.
What's the point?
Yeah.
well, his stuff. He has his songs.
He got 2 albums.
He got like the Above the Rim soundtrack.
Dude, he got doggy style. You're not going to do doggy style
He
like
didn't even
that.
get that above the rim. He don't.
You're not going to do
Yeah,
doggy
it says-
style like
yeah,
that.
it says this gives Snoop Dogg ownership of his albums, 1993's Doggy Style, 1996 The Dogfather, along with some movie soundtracks.
So
Above the
so
rim.
gotta be above the rim.
I don't even think he got above the rim. That was
Murder
I think Dre was like
crazy.
executive producer.
Well,
No,
it says he has Corrupt stuff too. Corrupt.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the Dog Pound.
The Dog
so
Pound.
it's probably his solo album.
You have the Nate Dogg G Funk Classics.
So
Got
wait,
Lady of Rage.
does he,
That
does
would
he
come out.
So does he not own? Does he not actually own the label? He just owns the rights to the work that was done under the label.
He closed a deal to acquire Death Row Records recording catalog. So he has the catalog.
Okay, so he
Right.
owns.
Well,
he owns
but
all
how do you have the
masters.
catalog, but you don't have Tupac and the Dr. Dre shit?
But I think Tupac Estate owns those albums.
Yeah, probably.
And Dre owns his shit.
Oh, okay.
So
And I think Dre bought back his stuff from Death Row.
I mean, I think that headline is misleading. I think they should just say like he
Yeah.
bought his catalog
Yeah,
from Death Row.
because they've been advertising it as he owns the label. He's been walking around with the big Death Row chain. I assumed he owned the label.
but he be making it seem like he did buy the label.
Yeah,
Oh, you know what? I think he did. He recently purchased Death Row label.
yeah, because it was like some
So,
kind of
yeah.
like
Yeah, because his last
But-
album was called Back on Death Row.
But it's not like he's gonna be
Doing stuff, making
doing
moves,
stuff for the
making moves.
labels, like getting new artists. I don't see Snoop doing that.
Oh, like he's not going to relaunch it?
Exactly.
I kind of could see that.
Like Death Row 2022?
I
don't
could see that.
No.
Like when No Limit was
Snoop
trying
is
to come
so
back.
busy doing other shit. I don't think he gonna have time to do that.
What's he doing?
Like he does everything.
Everything, but
He probably has like
TVs,
Yeah, he
commercials.
probably has like a ski lodge or something.
Yeah,
He does everything.
He got
He has
Corona,
Corona commercials.
yeah.
doing shit with Martha Stewart.
Yeah,
Dude,
I love the
exactly.
market.
He's still doing shows.
Isn't he a
game
part
show.
of? Isn't he a part of Triller too?
Yeah, he's one of the investors in Triller.
But now he's getting into commentating. Like he's doing all the fights and shit for all the like Thriller shit and all the Fight Club shit.
He just did the Olympics not too long ago.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago.
He does NHL. Yeah,
He did the Olympics?
Yeah.
Him and Kevin Hart.
For
yeah.
what?
They had like
Kevin
their own.
Hart?
They had their
Why?
own segment.
Yeah.
For what?
They would like pretty much do like what ESPN does, like go over like highlights.
What sport?
They were doing everything.
Everything.
Like
Luge.
ice skating,
yeah.
hockey,
Yeah.
gymnastics. Like just being funny and just doing stupid shit.
It is. It's like
Yeah.
it's almost like a parody.
like a comic relief.
It's like you're watching like a parody version of the commentating.
I wonder how much, like, what NBC post they're the ones who show the Winter Olympics.
They had, yeah.
I wonder how much money they lose every 4 years with the Winter Olympics. Who watches that shit?
No.
Nobody.
I don't think they lose money.
I definitely think they lose money.
The commercials are paying for that shit.
No, I think they lose a ton of money. There's no ratings, bro.
I even when
Especially
I see it, I'm like, damn, I didn't even realize the Winter Olympics are going on. Because I don't. There's not one sport that I can say I follow.
I think this is the first year that they actually learned how to properly, translate it to streaming too. To transition.
That's
it to
another thing.
streaming.
Yeah, it was on Peacock.
Yeah, because I don't think they figured it out the last Olympics. It was like impossible. You couldn't even watch that shit.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I'm excited for the World Cup though this year.
Why is he doing that?
He's probably gonna be at the World Cup too.
Snoop,
Yeah, because he's
gotta
funny
be
as shit.
He's got to be getting a stupid.
And it's probably an easy check.
Yeah, he's
you
the
know?
easiest check. Him be himself.
Yeah.
Remember, I be sending you the shit for the NHL, bro. He's doing NHL now. Like, who would have thought? Like, that's a white man's.
Wasn't he doing wrestling too?
He did wrestling
like-
too. Yeah, he does everything.
Yeah, he don't have time to run a label.
Yeah, no. He's not running a label. He's making money off the label, but not running it.
Actually, I actually wanted to ask you guys: have you guys been watching this Pamela and Tommy Lee
Yeah,
TV show?
You know what? I've been wanting to check it out, but no, I haven't
You
started
haven't
watching
watched
it.
it?
No,
it's
yeah.
so good.
Never. You don't watch anything with white people.
That's not true.
You only watch
That's
like
not
black
true,
TV.
no.
Power. He supports black businesses, man.
I watch Force.
Yeah, Power.
What's Force?
That's what Tommy from Power.
That's a black show.
But,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Tommy's a white. He's the lead actor.
Tommy-
You say he said Tommy's all white.
Tommy's a white.
Yeah, but Tommy's a white.
D-Mouse, you watch anything with white people?
No.
No. Damn it, man. What
Sports.
the fuck?
What
You know
is
what?
that?
I was watching. You know what I was
He said
watching?
sports.
Have you ever been watching Euphoria?
Yeah,
You've
I
been
watched
watching
Euphoria.
Euphoria?
Yeah, but you're
watching
not
Euphoria.
watching it from the jump. You do that thing where you start.
No, I've been watching this since day one.
Oh,
Since day
look
one.
at him. Look
Never-
at him.
Wait. Since day one, never?
Yeah.
Never
have.
is known to just start. Like if everyone's talking about a TV show,
He'll
you just
start it
started in the 5th season. And I'd be like, no, you got to watch it from the. Nah, just watch it from the 5th. I don't know how you.
Some shows.
I read the Wikipedia.
But not Euphoria. I watched since it first started. You
can't-
watch that?
I
I didn't even know
can't
you
watch
watched
it.
that shit.
No, I started to watch it recently.
Oh,
It's really
so
good.
you jumped to it. In
No,
the
I
middle.
jumped on the hype 1,000%.
I can't watch that show.
It's good. I know what you don't want to watch it because
It's just too much. Like it makes me not want to have kids. Like it's just
Oh, it's fucking
scary.
terrifying.
it's the new
Yeah,
kids.
It's terrifying.
Basically.
It is the kids of 2000.
Never you get off
Too.
on that show, right?
Yeah, but y'all
Hey,
did bad
yo.
shit
Yeah.
growing up too.
That's
Yo,
a good show. I really like it.
When they had, like, I tried to watch the first season, but when they had the plot twist of like the transgender girl,
Yeah.
fucking the son and the father,
Yeah.
I was like, I'm good, like and then the father beating the shit out of her,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
or
her.
them,
Her.
or her. I was like, I don't.
Out of
this is-
Jules. Her name's Jules.
I'm just like, I don't need to watch this shit.
Man.
It's too crazy.
It's a
I
good
can't-
show.
I can't even imagine. I saw like scenes of like intervention, and then like in the intervention, some girl got outed for fucking some of her best friend's boyfriend.
Yeah.
and I was just like, I'm glad I'm not watching this show.
Yeah, Maddie, bro.
I'm glad I'm not watching this show.
But like the Pam and Tommy thing, I kind of couldn't watch it either, just because like, in the 90s and 2000s, like just how horrible the fucking media were to women. Like it's just like
Oh, it's
she
so
got
bad.
the
was
whole
really
like.
bad.
Quick, I'm
I
surprised
can't-
you watched that
I
or you
can't
liked
handle it.
It's
like,
good. It's with Sebastian Stan.
Like
Winter Soldier.
Like the woman just got the worst fucking portrayal, and it was funny to everyone, and it was hilarious,
And it
it's
made him look like a god.
I can't.
But you got to explain what happened exactly.
But you know what? I think I don't.
Wait. Let her finish. But like, this is important. Like, you're right.
Yeah.
But you have to explain how everyone demonized Pamela Lee because she was promiscuous and maybe she was, she showed her body and she was sexy.
Playboy.
They kind of put her in this like you're a slut category.
Yeah, because you're attractive and you like showing your tits a little, and it's
it's kind of like once you've posed nude, or once you're like known for just being beautiful and you kind of like exploit your sexual.
The humanity, like you're not human,
you're put into this slut category. Yeah. So then like you're kind of like the court can't really protect you.
Yeah.
Because you kind of did it to yourself.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's almost like oh, I got raped. Well, what did you wear?
Yeah.
Right.
It's that kind of, you know what I mean?
Or like you shouldn't have gotten so drunk. Like, why'd you get so drunk? Why are we at this party? And it's where the woman takes like all of the blame. And again, like who said, Tommy Lee is just like the fucking man. He's the fucking man. And like his life is unchanged because he's a rock star. And she gets this like big, adulterer like labeled on her. It was just really hard for me to see because back then the media was so like quick to blame everything on the woman and like really like sexualize the woman to the highest degree in the most negative way.
Yeah.
And it's just like the media was really like that. They said some crazy shit on TV about her and on the radio, and it's just like, like she wasn't a fucking human. And it's like it's really, really sad.
But from what I remember about when all that shit happened is that after the tape came out, they were still together and they were still smiling, they were still hanging out.
I mean,
they were still at parties and shit like that. It didn't bother them at the time.
Well, wasn't it? It was their relationship. I mean,
it's kind of like a dope fucking show because they really go into like the details of shit.
Yeah,
it's really fucking dope, and it's like dope to kind of like remember the '90s. Mm-hmm. But I think what was really fucked up is that in my head, I always thought she was like super paid, and she was a big star. And she really wasn't paid, and she wasn't.
She was a big star back then
because of Baywatch.
What was it?
Baywatch.
Yeah, but like she didn't have a body of work, right? So like she posed for like Playboy, right? And she was like in Tim Allen's show, Home Improvement. Yeah. But she was just like one of the.
She wasn't on every episode.
Yeah, but she was just like kind of one of.
She started off.
She was like Vanna White on that show, basically, right? And then she was on
blew
Baywatch.
up in Baywatch, and that's when she blew up.
And then Barbed Wire came out, and no one thought that movie was gonna blow up.
That movie flopped.
It flopped,
and that was like the end of her.
But then
movie
what happened to her?
But she was still known as a sex symbol back in the 90s.
Yeah, she was still doing Playboy.
She was Playboy. She was had some posters out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, who wants to hire a slut who's gonna take a slut seriously?
But my question is like I always thought she was bigger, and there was like all this other shit, but she was just really kind of. I think. This is the fucked up shit. Is that everyone looks at Kim Kardashian, right? Mm-hmm. And like, oh my God, she's so talentless. Like she got famous off of a sex tape. Mm-hmm. And then you kind of look like at Pamela Lee, and it's like she really didn't do what Kim Kardashian
I was gonna
did.
say, but I don't think there was like a space for her to
exactly.
do that.
It's like it's weird, right?
I feel like Pamela kind of curved that space for Kim to be able to like monetize from the situation.
Pamela crawled so Kim could fly.
Yeah.
Well, in between they had the Paris Hilton one too.
Yeah.
But like, when you think about it, it's really kind of fucked up because they didn't make a fucking dime off of that sex tape at all.
No.
Did Kim make money off? She did, right? She signed off on that video.
Wait, did they make money off that tape?
Yes.
Yeah, Vivid.
They made money because Kim Kardashian signed off on that tape.
Wow.
She got paid off of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So
her mother signed off on that shit, didn't it?
Yep.
That's wild.
And they got the TV
because they were just basically like, if we don't sign off on this, they're gonna make money on the web regardless.
Yeah, it's gonna get released.
We can't stop it.
Yeah.
And it was
So Pam needed Kim's mother.
She needed a Kris Jenner.
She needed a Kris Jenner in her life
that shit was
to blow up even bigger.
No, that shit was not happening in the 90s. Like,
but did they explain why they weren't making money off this tape?
I just think it was like, it's one of those things where, you know what? Neva's actually right. Is that Pam needed a Kris Jenner.
She was a Canadian.
To monetize.
But I don't think there was a space for that in that time.
I think there could.
It could have been. It could have been.
It was the first time of its kind.
Yeah, this is such a sexist time in like American history. I don't think like and nothing, they wouldn't have been able to make it work. And like the way you're saying, we all thought like she was rich and famous, Pam, just because she was famous and like she was hot and she was a sex symbol. But I guess now that, you know, she really she wasn't working.
After Tommy Lee, like she went to Kid Rock, right?
Yeah.
And it was just, she just kind of became like this kind of like a rock star's
arm piece
a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, but you're right. I think she did need like a Kris Jenner to kind of monetize it. And
but I don't think in the 90s she would have been able to pull up to board meetings with, you know, like Fashion Nova executive. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it would have been.
But it was like she was in the 2000s. She was popping a little bit. She was still big.
Yeah, but it's also like, honestly, like I think she could have done something because a lot of people thought the same way of like a Jane Fonda to a certain degree because she was doing promiscuous stuff and then she did like, wasn't she or not?
You talk about Farrah Fawcett.
No,
Jane Fonda was like kind of, she was
like an activist, but
she was an activist. Yeah,
she was an activist, but then she came out with like she
never came out with no sex tapes.
No. Okay, let me backtrack before I say this. Like, all right, because like back in the day, Jane Fonda was one of the first women to delve into multiple industries.
Yeah,
who wasn't just an actress, stayed an actress. Right, she had like a workout tape. She was an activist. She was all of these things, and she broke all the barriers. And this was in like the 70s and 80s. You know, I remember at the time everyone was like, "Who does she think she is? Like, she's doing all of these things." And she was like doing everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yo, she was caking with that workout tapes, man.
Yeah, it was just crazy. She was doing everything, right?
Yeah.
And then when you look at what Pam could have done, when you get all that attention, you really have to know what to do with it. And she was just kind of like, she needed someone in her corner, like, fuck all these men.
Yeah.
Like, we have to mobilize.
Yeah.
And she could have taken advantage of it, but I think she was alone and she really just kind of hid. And she just kind of depended on, I think something like, it was a mistake. She depended on Tommy Lee to fix all of these things.
Yeah. I think there's probably a big, like a lot of shame tied to that, you know?
I mean, there's a shame, but I think there was a naiveness too. Like, she was this kind of like, really kind of humble, like, you know.
Well, she's Canadian, bro.
Yeah,
she's
country
nice.
girl from Canada. And, you know, she had these dreams of like, I'm going to be a star. I'm going to do all this.
She was
and she was smart. You know what I'm saying? And all of these things, but she didn't have that thick skin and she didn't have that person to just be like, yo, we got to move. We got to make money. We got to do this. We got to make these moves, you know?
Do you think she just aged out too?
Huh?
Like, do you think she just kind of aged out and then that was kind of it?
Well, she's on Broadway right now. She's in the Chicago musical. She's playing Roxy right now. So it is good for her. But if you don't have that hustler around you, you know, she's just hanging out with her boyfriend, having sex on a boat. Like, she doesn't have friends like talking about business, you know?
Right.
So
I mean, just look at Paris Hilton, right? Look what she's built.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she's a fucking businesswoman.
Yeah.
And Kim Kardashian.
But then also Paris Hilton family, they had their own hotels
the
and
capital.
shit.
Yeah, they had a lot of capital.
She had the support.
Exactly. Yeah.
She probably had a team from.
And then also, I guess you're right. Like, you know, Kim Kardashian had her moms.
Yeah.
And she, you know, she navigated around.
And they were rich
a lot
already.
Of famous people,
you know, like they already had money. And she comes from a lawyer dad. You know, so
yeah.
The litigation.
She didn't have the resources. Pam didn't have the resources.
She was before her time.
Oh, she could have.
She was the first of her kind.
Dildo line.
Jesus.
I mean, now you're thinking, you know, like at the
but
bottom.
no, that's real though, right? Like she could have had all kind of things.
No,
going
I mean,
on.
I think she's thinking a little too bottom of the barrel. Like, you know, Kim Kardashian and Paris Hilton never dropped a dildo line. You know,
dildo line.
Yeah.
I'm sure they could have.
But you know, she could have got some merch going or something.
But the one thing I loved about this show was how this whole sex tape started just from one small thing, which was Tommy Lee treating people like shit.
Well, yeah,
he had a carpenter. I don't want to. This is spoiler alert.
Right.
It all came down to a carpenter, right? Mm-hmm. Who was supposed to do work in Tommy Lee's house. Mm-hmm. Tommy Lee treated them like shit. Basically, didn't pay them, and he stole their tools and kicked them out of his crib. And the dude was like, "Yo, fuck this dude. I'm gonna break into his crib and like take his safe and get my tools back."
Yeah.
And he stumbled onto that sex tape. Mm-hmm. And then
wild.
It's just like the whole story is crazy and it's like so interesting.
So did the guy go to jail?
Huh?
Did he go to jail?
Like, watch it.
All right.
Watch the shit.
All right.
It's really good. And it really kind of takes you back to that era in the 90s. Even to everything she's saying about the media, even how like It's just really dope.
The times
man.
were so different.
Tower Records.
Bill Clinton.
Even when they're like trying to mass produce the tape, like the VHS tapes, like, and just learning about the web and the internet. And it's just like it's really interesting, bro. Like it's one of the best shows that I've seen, and I had like very low.
Oh wow! I'm surprised you said that.
Yeah, low expectation. That shit was a great cast. Seth Rogen.
It's funny because when I heard about the show, I thought it was gonna be like a movie. I didn't realize it was gonna be like a
like
8 episode.
Like the later episodes kind of drags a little bit, but they really get into detail of like what Pamela was going through. And no one, you know what? And it's fucked up because I don't think anyone really saw it from that perspective before. Mm-hmm. And you know, it's also kind of sad because you could tell, like Tommy Lee and Pam like actually loved each other, but the media probably just fucked them up. You know, I don't know. I don't really feel sorry for Tommy Lee.
And then she has a new Netflix documentary or some series coming out soon.
Oh, good for her. Look, now she's on it. You know, look,
she finally found her Kris Jenner.
But you know what's great about this that you guys will enjoy and that I enjoyed? It's like there's nothing better than seeing like white people distressed. You know,
cricket.
It's true though.
Yeah, it is funny.
You know, like it's really good to see white people distressed.
Like my tools.
No, because when you think of these like celebrities in Hollywood, you know, like they're living it up. They're just rich and they're just white and they're just like, you know,
everything's all good.
Everything's great, and then you're like looking at like, wow, these guys are like miserable, yo. And they had all that money, and they were the best looking people.
Yeah,
they were tapped in. And they're still fucking miserable, yo.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the point? Everyone's miserable inside?
It's good to see like rich white people be like distressed.
Like, they're just like us.
Know? Like it's not just a minority.
Yeah, it's not.
It's kind of like
like chemical imbalance. Jesus.
But yeah, you should check it out.
That's a good show.
I don't think Neva's gonna watch it.
I'm gonna watch it.
No, it's a good show.
No, like I said, I did want to watch it. I just didn't realize it was like 8 episodes. But I'll give it
I'm telling you, after the first 2 episodes, you're gonna be like, "This is pretty dope."
So watch Tommy.
So watch that shit. Are you gonna watch it? You're not gonna watch it.
No, I do. I have it in my
to-do list.
My Hulu list of movies to check out.
Meanwhile, you've watched every fucking spin-off show from Power.
Because they're fucking great.
I don't think they're good.
I think they're fucking.
I try to watch.
They're entertaining. Let's put it like that.
I try to watch the what was it the
Ghost?
No, the one that was about like the real life drug dealers. What is it called?
Oh, BMF.
Yeah, I could barely get through that, man.
You wasn't feeling it?
That was pretty bad.
Damn, bro.
It was written pretty bad. It was pretty bad.
It wasn't what I was expecting. I'll say that.
It's your opinion, man. I thought it was good.
It was pretty bad, bro. Anyway, I think, Nudia,
love you.
You know, whenever you're coming into Vegas.
Oh my God.
Whenever you're coming back to Vegas, you're welcome on the show, right?
Shut up. Yeah.
You know, and then what do you call it? And good luck in Chicago. And once again, everyone in Chicago that we know, show love to Nudia.
Yes.
Yeah. Invite her out. She's off on the weekends.
Shout out about Portillo's, man.
Yeah. There's actually a really dope Latin party in Chicago. I think you DJ'd it too. I hope it's still there. But there was a club that.
Yes. Shoot.
I don't know the name of it.
I gotta hit up the homies because my homie Chris Caleb, he's out there, and I'll actually plug you with him. He's tapped in with a lot of parties out there.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm really excited to learn like about the city and like go out. Like I'm just.
She wants deep dish pizza. She told me.
I heard tavern pizza is what slaps there though.
I'm not familiar.
That's just what I heard.
You're going to put us on when you get familiar.
Now we gotta go visit New York.
You guys are gonna come to Chicago.
You got to get some Harold's Chicken too. Harold's Chicken is dope.
That's a staple.
All right, y'all. We are out, and we'll see y'all later.
See you in Texas.
Peace.
Bye.
If you want to watch more episodes from R.O.A.D Podcast, click either links on the left or the right. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page and get updated on new uploads throughout the week. Peace.